Okay, so now I have the camera turned around, and as you can see, I have a cork board, and I bought this gauge in the, like I said, I had to make up my own kit because Hobby Lobby quit selling the quilling supplies, but Michael's has all of this stuff. But this was in the drawing section of Hobby Lobby, and it's a grid, a graph to draw different size circles. And then I glued little rubber feet on the back because you're going to need this to kind of stand up off the surface of the cork board so that we can lay our quills inside. And so you determine um, what size circle that you want to have. So these are the different pieces that we're going to need. We've got a teardrop. We've got a marquee. And we've got what's called a V-scroll. And so this paper showed me the length that I needed and how to make the different patterns. And then we have an item list up here. And so we need 6 pieces, six and six, a 9-inch length and 2 5-inch lengths. And then one of the 5-inch lengths you're going to fold in half. And that's what's going to make our V-scroll. So the first one I'm going to make, and it tells you a 12 millimeter or number 3 circle. If you had a proper gauge for your quilling, and they do sell quilling gauges, you could just put it in a number 3 circle. 12 millimeters would be close to 1/2 inch. So what I did was, I've already got my pre-cut paper, and I'm going to put this in my tool, and as you can see, there is a slit there, and I'm going to put that paper. I should have brought my glasses. I can't see. There we go. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's just barely, get a little tail out of there. And you're just going to roll. Once you get it caught, you're just going to roll. And this is that 9-inch piece of paper. Whew, goodness. That happens sometimes. I'll let you see my mistakes too. Might make y'all feel better. You don't have to be an artiste to do this. Okay, so you just slide it off. And I'm going to put this, and you can see it's a pretty tightly rolled little coil. I'm going to put this in my 1/2 inch. Let me slide that up a little bit so you can see. I'm going to put that in my 1/2 inch circle here and watch what happens. It will, and this is why I think they give you the pointed end. You can kind of manipulate it to fit that circle. I'll spread it out a little bit because I want it to fit that 1/2 inch. Okay, so now we have our 1/2 inch circle. The other thing you're going to need is a really fine tip. This is a fine line liquid glue. And I have a styrofoam cup with a wetted paper towel in the bottom. And this is to put my glue in once I take the lid off so it doesn't coagulate on the tip. So when I'm done gluing, I'll lay it in here, and that way it doesn't clog, the tip doesn't get clogged. So I'm going to use my tweezer, and I'm going to kind of find that edge, where that edge is, and pick it up so that I didn't lose the size. And I'm just going to bend that piece of paper back. And with a little glue, it doesn't take much, glue that strip. And you just hold it for a few seconds. And we'll put that aside. And I'll show you when it dries what we're going to do with it. So I'm just going to lay that, I'll just put it there. Okay. The next thing we want is we need to make the teardrop. And so that is just a 5-inch strip of paper, and we're going to do the same thing. And let me see if I can get it on the, yeah, there we go. And once you get it in the slit, you just twist. And pull it off. And again, I'm putting it in, let's see, what millimeter did she say? So this is 9 millimeters. So this one's a little bit smaller. So I'm going to put it in that 7/16 inch. Try to get it to, and you can just kind of let it unwind naturally if you want. And again, I'm going to use my tweezers to pick that up, pull that little flap down, place a little glue. I didn't put my glue in my container like I should have, and then just hold it for a few seconds. And this glue dries pretty fast. Just take him off. So there's our other little circle. And now the last one we need is this V scroll. And that's also a 5-inch piece of paper, but remember this one was folded in half, and we're going to curl it to the outside of the V. So we're going to start at one end. And roll it down. And we're going to roll it down almost to the end of that fold. I'm just going to stop maybe 1/2 inch shy and pull it off. And now we're going to do the other side and curl it to the outside. And stop about 1/2 inch. Whoop! It's a bit fiddly. There we go. So pinch it in the middle and you've got like a little ram's head. So that's our pieces. So I've already got the others made. Now that first one we made, we are going to make a marquee. So find where that end was and pinch it right there, and then find the other middle and pinch them in the middle. And it makes, almost looks like an eyeball. We're going to lay that aside. And then the other one that we did, that smaller one, we're just going to pinch that at the top. And that makes a teardrop. And then we've got our ram V scroll. So now what I'm going to do, I've already got all of my pieces. I'm going to take my pattern, a piece of wax paper, and this is so glue won't stick. I've got some straight pins, and we're going to use several of these because you're going to pin your little pieces down as you go. But I'm just going to pin the corners of my wax paper down. And now we can start. So we're going to start in the middle with our marquee shapes. So what you're going to do is you're going to put some glue on one, lay it on the pattern, get another one, and mash it up against that one. And then you're going to put straight pins in to secure it. Okay, now you're going to put glue on the side of this one. And pin him down. And once you get a couple of them on there, it goes a little bit easier. And then glue along the side of that one. And pin it down. I'm trying to find like a really closed spot to pin. And pin and then glue on the side of that one. Okay, and then on the last one, I'm going to hold it up and put glue on it so I can glue both sides. And then you're just going to slide that one in there. And now you can kind of fiddle with your arrangement. And make sure they're all sticking. Okay, next is those cute little V scrolls. And you can see mine doesn't like perfectly match up, but it's once you get it off of here, it's no one's going to be able to tell. So you're going to put a dab of glue on each one of those little scrolls and make sure it's touching. I'm not going to pin those down because they kind of hold together anyway. So I'm going to put some glue on this one. I might have to pin this one down. Don't know. Maybe not. And then some more glue right on the tops there. And you just go around and use this little pattern here as your guide. And like I said, if it doesn't exactly fit, it's not going to matter when you get it all done because it's going to be perfect. Anyway. And on this one, and you can see one of my scrolls came a little undone. But again, once you get the whole thing together, and then the last one. And when that dries, I can use this pointy end of the tool to open that out, but I don't want to do it right now while everything's wet. And then the last thing we do is in between each one of these little V scrolls, you put an upside down teardrop. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on both sides of that and just stick it in that scroll like that. And again, just mash it down in there. And you just keep going around and sticking that down in between. There's that one. Two more. Last one. Stick him down in there. And now maybe I'll try and open that one out a little bit. There we go. So there is your snowflake. So you let this dry on the board, and when it's finished, this is what you'll have. Isn't that pretty? Now these other ones, I'll show you closer up of these. This is the poinsettia. Here's the back side. I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big marquees, and then 6 more to go in between those. So there's a total of 12 marquee shaped red, and then these are just little tightly rolled up pieces of yellow. I didn't put them in a gauge at all. I just left them as tight as they were and pulled it straight off of the tool and glued it. And then that's the little centers. The Christmas tree, this is just circles and then a marquee at the top. And of course, you could do those little tight scrolls and put little different colored ornaments on top of that if you wanted to. And then, of course, this is my favorite one. I just used this outer circle kind of to keep it in the round. And here's the back side. I just did 2. They look like wings. 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. And then I laid one on the center of each one of those. And then I just random did little berries of the little coils. And that kit that I got even came with string to hang them by. So that's our Christmas ornaments. And again, this pattern was Papers In, Cecilia Louie, Papers In. This was a free download that she had. So I want to make sure that she gets the credit for this. Pretty Snowflake. And possibilities, as I always say, are endless. You know, come up with your own designs like I did. And I hope you enjoy this tutorial. And as usual, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.